Direct. You can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program Good Morning Salone continues. Send your message or comments to the number 077-981-981. Inside the program now, we will look at another issue. The chairman for the Environment Committee in Parliament, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, don't say from the oversight we do a different factory and company them at the eastern part of Freetown. It should say plenty of them company are not get environmental impact assessment license where they operate. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte talk this for second 1 2 days oversight within Dona CSC Construction Company, Dangote Cement Factory, Leosem KC Industry and Wataki for know if they don't comply with the EIA license where they operate in a salon. Princess Piers gets more and gonna report.
According to the Environment Protection Agency Act of 2008, Section 23, subsection 1 say any company or factory where they operate in a salon forget the environmental impact assessment license where they show how them company for the operating environment we no go among people them through air pollution and safety for the workman them. For see how some of them company don't they comply with this law. Make the Environment Committee in a Parliament go work on a Dangote Cement Factory, Leosem, KC Industry where they make oil, butter and other things them and safe water key. But waiting this committee fair note inside the worker. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, now the chairman for the Environmental Committee in a Parliament, he explained.
Well, we find out say some companies that like a KC Industry don't operate for about 6 months without environmental impact assessment license, and the work they do now work way need for let EPA come understand what they do, see the chemicals, see the hazardous, see the waste management system, see the oil storage system, especially waste oil, see what they not put in place for safety. Because we will see plenty workmen not get safety gear, not get gloves, not get safety boots, or not get safety kit. We also go CSC and we see say CSC they get 3 quarries across the country, but they not get license because of the way the contract they sign with SLRA. And SLRA they do much for make sure they obtain the license. Now revenue loss to EPA and revenue loss to government. Become like Dangote. We also see say Dangote company they follow them community development action plan. Discover a lot, but in the lot where we see, I think say I want for comment Freetown Terminal, and one of the agencies that we they comply 100%. Nobody complies 100%, but their level of compliance is very high. Their level of safety for workers is very high. Then concentration on managing hazardous waste and keeping the system within the acceptable limits of the EIA license is very good.
But why some of them people here not able to reach this demand? The CSE Construction Company, now one of the company them outside this committee be go worker, outside the country manager Amadou Gay, been talk about the reason why make them not comply with the EIA license.
But normally the EIA license generally is the responsibility of SLRA, because the contract that we have generally is the environment of SLRA who deal with the Agency of Environment, the EPA, to give us the license. Bandajuma and Moyamba, I don't have it here. But Bobo, before we stop, I send it the license for Bobo in Freetown. But Bandajuma and Moyamba, no, I don't see it yet.
So they've never applied for a license in respect of Bandajuma and Moyamba?
Never applied that we have the authorization for SLRA to use that quarry.
Okay, you have the authorization?
Yes.
Can you see the authorization?
When it is okay, you ask authorization from SLRA to come and give you the quarry. It's SLRA who come to compensate the owner of the quarry. And now we send it our environmental plan to SLRA. Now after SLRA must make an environmental plan and all and send it to EPA and after deal with the EPA license. It's not our responsibility to compensate or to look at the IPA license in the contract. Generally is the procedure.
Different company them being give different excuse but why they not able to pay the AI license? But waiting at the recommendation, where the chairman for the committee think about this, Honorable Ibrahim Tawakonte again.
Well, we want to report to table, and because the report not just on this one no more. The report covers this. It covers we visit now the various regions them on timber processing. It covers the EPA, it covers the NPA, it covers even the process way the sole agents they do for the export of timber. It covers the Ministry of Finance, the revenues collected by the sole agent paid directly to the Ministry of Finance in foreign currency, and how those monies were converted, whether they were converted using the legitimate rate that was the rate at the time. And the report will lay them, and after all, lay on a parliament for ensure say we therefore go back to the community through the media and ensure say we popularize that report and community understand exactly what's in the happen.
As different organizations them na the world, they fight for promotes better environment management. We don't be challenged na the world now. Member them from the Environment Committee na Parliament, they hope for say the company them outside they don't go waka go improve in the work na the environment where they operate for protect the life of people them where they around them. For Radio Democracy, Princess Pias the report.
Alright, the program is still listening to now Good Morning Salone. We come to one power studio guest them now. When Abdul Karim Will from the Office of National Security. We began to talk earlier about on a mandate, and we talk a bit about how now they secure the border areas them. Still on the border areas them. I mean, in all new for say we get plenty illegal crossing points compared to the legal points how the ONS they use the committees them we say una get na then different area for the reach out na then illegal crossing points here, because according to information na then illegal points here people they use now because the legal points them all close as we talk. How na they use them committee here for man the areas them way illegal way people can use?
Yes, like we don't say initially that before the outbreak we been get what we call joint border patrols, but after the outbreak, even when we not been get confirmed cases to Salone, the government of Salone we don't put measures in place, and that will lead we forget sustained engagement with the relevant security sector institutions, and so we revitalize effective border patrols. And the border patrols here, they're robust now as compared to what they happened before. The vigilance maintained, the alertness and the presence across all of the other entry points when established don't become effective, don't remain effective. And that are the reason we make, if you follow waiting to happen across the borders, where they do a lot of arrests of people who they make attempts for coming to the country or left the country illegally. Because we know very well that maintaining the borders now are something for prioritized, because even though most of the cases so we get now internal cases, the cases we come out from the quarantine homes, we also want for ensure say for complement that effort we maintain the border crossings, so we ensure say illegal entries don't happen, because it's important apart from we protecting the health and security of this country, we also want for continue for maintaining revenue generation. Remember, after the closure of the borders, all of the borders within the Mano River Basin, the pronouncement may say we still will get for ensure say essential commodities in coming to the country, and so for the essential commodities and they want them come and establish crossing points so that they will pay the next taxes, so that even as we affect the corona, we also therefore continue to maintain the revenue generation effort where we country now get additional problems.
So looking at this emergency time for provide security and then crossing point and one, but there should be strategies in terms of deployment so that the security owner they provide could be effective. We now on a method, all kinds of strategy the owner they use.
Yeah, the methods are so enormous. In the first place, we get weekly meetings or even daily meetings as the situation demands. And like we don't see, we get the agencies and we form them committees, and now them committees and they, now them meetings and they generate information. Now they get
those kind of information.
Security information generally, issues relating to border infractions, issues relating to personnel deployment at the border crossing points, which are the challenges we in the face. Within some of the lessons we will learn in terms of the challenges and within the how we go for proper solutions jointly for support in addressing the kind of challenges and the way they happen. But important also for not say, and then border crossing point, we also they make use of the local authorities, and then they provide with information, then they provide with intelligence, as the case may be sometimes, for see that their activities the way we know one for let it happen at communities and they not happen. And over the period, they enjoy that kind support day with the local authorities, particularly the paramount chiefs, with the influence and they're able for encouraging people them for providing with information, and we don't encourage them for also reactivate the bylaws will be they exist during the corona period and during the Ebola period, also institute their wire and be vigilant and report any cases of suspicion as a case may be. So we engage the communities in terms of radio discussions, in security talk shows, we talk to them, and we also encourage them for providing with the much needed support. So far as they speak, we don't enjoy that one day effectively.
From the border areas, them, let we come to the quarantine homes. Them, una one pan the set of response in terms of security na then quarantine homes there. How una actually they respond in terms of whether they go in or come out of quarantine homes them?
So I want for state say all of what we do are in support of the EOC. Through with provincial, with district and chiefdom security coordinators, we dey monitor several aspects of the quarantine homes. One of the things they monitor na almost people in a particular quarantine home at a time. Almost people don't actually go through the quarantine home and we don't be released because we think say this very important for any case of a contact tracing. We also look at the security arrangements at the quarantine homes and they. Now we not forget say we get particularly the SLP and the ASLAF. We now they do deployments. So we now they monitor for ensure say the deployments are effective. Now one day we know problematic, and we look at the challenges, particularly where the officers are already deploying at the quarantine homes that they face, and even the challenges where also the people already in quarantine they face, and sometimes also they also monitor waiting at the challenges where the management of them facilities that they face as a case may be. So they gather all of the information on a daily basis to the National Institution Room and forward this to the attention of the EOC for response. And that make most of the data we collect at the end of the day for the attention of the EOC. And some of the information that they come to public domain because I think it's important for now we get the data correct so that we go for effectively ensure that everything happens. Now the quarantine homes are one way within the line of response.
So in terms of challenge them, waiting on be the outstanding one from the security we want to provide now the quarantine homes them.
Now the aspect of compliance. Even though our state say so far we get larger percentage of people in the quarantine home for comply with the protocol. Or sometimes we can get challenge of some relatives they wanting for can visit people in quarantine homes. Forgetting say the people who are in the quarantine homes and they in a dire situation, and we have to be very mindful as to the way how they interact with them. So we can get any challenges a day between members of the family of people in quarantine homes with the security forces because they feel say that they right for can visit the family. But as we can go, we'll be able for resolve some of the issues a day. Now they also get challenged with the adherence to the SOPs on quarantine. Even we officers them sometimes can be if we get a confirmed case in a particular home, because we're not satisfied with waiting, we don't be the level of interaction, except you even come under quarantine. So that's also an issue of challenge.
Okay. So
at.
Looking at the challenge of people in a quarantine, look at the challenge of the people already do the security work. Now the different border in quarantine home them, because we will only see concern on the commode son, they get challenged and not get torchlight, maybe bike for patrol and all. How swiftly the heads of them particular institution that the EOCK responds, because if people in a particular site for do their work, then think the way they need they not get it will be so challenging.
I quite agree. No country that will get everything 100% abundant, and so then challenges and they can come up. But like as and when the reports can come through we monitoring, we can cascade the same reports here to their attention and encourage the leadership of the institutions and therefore provide the team the way people need in terms of logistics, because it's important that they get the logistics and together, because not only that they go for aid the operations.
Okay.
So we can in a way, bring account to the attention of the relevant authorities and encourage them for provide. We see gaps in there, we also can come in for ensure so we get the sustained engagement for let the correct thing happen. But generally, at the border crossing point, like you mentioned, we get so many challenges. One of the things that we get where the challenge now difficult terrains. We know how we roads are very poor, especially in the remote communities them. So that it can lead to so many things, especially damage onto with vehicles. And we know how it can be difficult for do the maintenance in them, the spare parts and all of the other things related to that. We also can get problems with the communications system.
Okay.
Some side and the way don't get a mobile network coverage at all. And so in that kind of situation, they will say you want to pass on vital information, you'll get for physically take the information from point A to point B for let you reach the other person. And most of it can be delayed and it can cause a whole lot of inconveniences.
Continue for the week now the studio Abdul Karim Will in the Assistant Director Organized Crimes and Spokesperson na Office of National Security. It don't tell about the role of ONS na border crossing point them on also na the quarantine them. The program na Good Morning Salone, and inside the program now we go for a short break.
Better don't come, better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let we savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's alone for me and you. It's future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all up at Nasalone. Boko no kenema, we ide. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we ide. Jala free town don't sa, we ide. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, Nasalone for me and you. Union Salone Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program Good Morning Salone they continue. They come to the other studio guests now. Wena Solomon Jamiru, spokesperson for the national COVID-19 response. As we began to talk earlier about that one confirmed death case, now I'll take you to the issue we get to do with community transmission, because this person go na the health facility, you know, go complain for say I get COVID, I suspect say I get COVID-19. We don't hear you saying other case care and go day, but then we get for find out at the end of the day say it gets COVID-19. So in terms of contact tracing from the community who say it come out, waiting don't they in place now for ensure say una get the people them now on a radar, being that the person we confirm don't die and you know go able help with information.
Thank you very much. Maybe a very good question, Dandy. And when from the trend, they see all over the world, and you study the stages of transmission, you don't get worried when sometimes around March 30 we will record an index case, and sometimes you look at them and say, okay, this person has a travel history. When you get stage 2 where they talk about local cluster, you also may not seem to get worried. But when it starts moving towards what we call community transmission, and the danger, the complication is if you don't identify a case and you're not able to trace that case date to a previous case, you start getting worried, because you also don't know the scope of the one that we also don't contact. So community transmission phase is a very delicate, sensitive, but also a very dangerous phase. And a very important way they name them as it is, because it help people to understand. I just want to assure we fumble and say, now that make we get experts them in the field. At EOC, we get people that are in charge of surveillance, we're in charge of contact tracing. So whenever they're able to identify a case, they're able to trace all what we call primary and secondary contacts. Now somebody go on for say, okay, it just like if you go to a court of law, you get a very important witness. but then you can't understand, say that witness, they don't die. So you start wondering how the court go able for elicit information. We go help the court for arrive at a just conclusion. So the question we family them go they ask now, if this person don't die, you're not able for assist the people the way they do the contact tracing, for help them for trace the one the way you don't contact, how can they be able to achieve this? For practically, we know say a very challenging task, but we believe they are experts. Even if this person don't die, there are very credible means, experts them go able for reach out to the one that we possibly may have been contacted, and they go able for isolate them from the wider society.
So how realistic this go get for be for let you able for trace not the family members we perhaps carry on hospital where they go able for no say these people and they may carry on hospital, but people them maybe don't come in contact with before they even reach the hospital day. How this possible?
Well, all over the world, even in the most advanced systems, they will tell you say when it comes to contract tracing, they will never achieve 100%. You don't have a foolproof contact tracing system. And so during them process, then the one the way per adventure you're not able to trace, those are the ones who may slip out of the net and they end up infecting others. Well, now because of them wider implications, you can find out say some societies then able for introduce a lockdown, because with them lockdown then you're able for manage that pool day and continue your contact tracing, ask as many questions as possible, get intelligence as possible, so you're able for identify cases. In some countries, they can do just the random testing. They can just decide for going to some communities and start doing testing, going to hospitals and start doing testing, because you're not able for sit down. Your system not able for credibly tell you say this person is not able for infect like 100 people and you exactly know their names or where they are. So because you're not able to get that kind of foolproof system, now that makes some societies quick for introduce like lockdowns, so you can able to get societies together and continue for do you testing. But I will tell you say it's a difficult exercise, but it's achievable, and I believe say we're experts then they up to the task.
The experts the way they refer to now are not able for know the particular community outside this person in question being reside.
I think say then get the competence for no so, because mind you, this person also comes from a family and they're able for trace family and they will get questions and get important answers to their questions.
The issue of willingness, when I don't encourage the public, let people willingly, where we don't say they don't come in contact with people, we don't prove for be positive, let them come out willingly and go out, so that the EOC go make sure say then test them for know their own condition. In this case, the person don't die, and as you said, don't talk it go difficult for them not able for trace everybody where we don't come in contact with before then they prove say it gets the coronavirus. We dey talking about the identity of the person. The public larger part of am not able for know who that's not this individual. The EOC go for give information where go make somebody sometimes where they listen say sometimes I don't come in contact with this person. When are willing for give the identity of the person, so people them way we don't come in contact with them go come out willingly and go do their own test.
Well, as I say, we respect the work with the experts then they do. And I believe say the one that way they're in charge of contact tracing, then get them mechanisms where they go apply for achieve the results where they want. So anything where they think say they can do professional enough, they within the law and for achieve them. Because don't not forget say all this what they do now in the context of the emergency. We mean say the law don't empower the president for take appropriate measures, and from the president to the institutions where it don't authorize and it don't set up. Their institutions then therefore able to take any measure where important and we get enough justification for make to achieve what we want. So I go on for a show with Fumble and say the one that we they in charge of contact tracing and competent enough for reach out and able for identify and isolate them cases. But apart from that, this FET here with the FET will always they emphasize say not to government no more, not to just the work of EOC. Even we say we in homes. You know, maybe you people have done a lot of campaign on hands of our girls. When they look at a lot of sexual abuses, when they go to court, when they see how parents, families would want to compromise cases, sometimes rape, sometimes just rape and other things, sexual penetration. So there has been this culture, because families don't want to be on record, you know, as coming out. Some people they want for compromise cases. I think say that can be the most fitting analogy where I go draw to this one. Some man sometimes even if you suspect, say you fumble, they show the symptoms, they pronounce in symptoms we akin to COVID, they no one for come out. So we continue for educate, we fumble them. We know say this is not a one day's job. We will continue for educate them. And you will know say you connected to this case or any other case, or you suspect say somebody in your home or in the environment where they get their symptoms who they talk about. We think say you're supposed for help the society and help government for support we with the fact for help we for deal with that. So as I say, we'll continue for the count on the cooperation of we fumble them.
So looking at your role as a spokesperson of the National COVID-19 Response Secretariat, they talk about SIWI, they forget the information and also control the flow of information. Now, when you look at most of the 10-day case can add to the one they already did, people can already don't get the information where they pass on social media before you see the correct data from Ministry of Information. What thing will be your approach or method we will apply in terms of controlling that?
I just do a piece last night where I think it don't circulate now on social media, and one of the things I talk about, and I also talk about in the where I introduce the talk just now, say timely information very important. In this age, they talk about right to access information. Anything we public for know, let public know in good time. Even we self, you will get a lot of discomfort where. Because if it is already there, why you get for begin assemble journalists again and say, "Una come, we'll get something out for you." But as I say, this is nothing we will work on, and we believe say we don't begin for discuss this, and we don't begin discuss. My brother from ONS don't talk about the standard operating procedures, and I believe say some of the things some of the constraints that will be done they see something are because of the standard operating procedures. But when it comes to information, we think say if one case don't add today, the next minute, as long as it's validated, you should be in a position to release it. So this is something we are working on, and I believe as spokesperson for the COVID-19 response, one of the things where I think say are they able for canvas, for make a reason out, and for make the public be informed in good time. Because when the public is informed in good time, it diffuse a lot of tension, it diffuse a lot of rumor mongering, give them the facts so that the fact will help them to fight COVID-19. That's what I believe, and I believe say at the canvas the good consideration of the team towards this approach.
So how it get for Talik, because we see different body that working how it press release in terms of giving out information. Now that you are the spokesperson, is it that now information will come out directly from you, or get to see the same that happen to other ministries in terms of informing the public?
As I say, ministries, departments, agencies, then get their mandate, and then will continue to fulfill their mandate then they. As much as we can, and given the directive of His Excellency the President, any thinking that if fine forget a dedicated stream, a dedicated channel, as spokesman for the COVID-19 response, we will make sure say we use them dedicated channels. But again, sometimes it's difficult let's put it this way, sometimes it's difficult for disaggregate, because if, like what happened now, this being with the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health and Sanitation engage the healthcare workers. The doctors, the pharmacists, the nurses, the community health officers. And because we believe, say, in this fight, the healthcare workers are in the front line. They are in direct contact with the COVID-19 cases. So the need for understand, say, government get them back. The need for understand, say, nobody is sending them out there for unwarrantedly expose them to risk. Let's look at an incentive system where governments don't roll out. Now, Ministry of Finance, of course, then do an MOU with them and then put out the MOU. Now, somebody might want to say, well, if it is a COVID-19 thing and there is a national response, why you not go bring all that information there and pass them through? You really can't stop ministries, departments, and agencies for do what in they set up for do. But when it comes to message discipline, we all don't get this understanding now that there are specific issues where we believe, say, for go through dedicated channels, and we think, say, that understanding done there, even with the Ministry of Information and Communications. We don't do a fantastic job, both Minister Soare and Deputy Mamadi Gobe Kamara, and we all go continue for compliment we say, because this will never be a fight for jurisdiction. It's about complementing ourselves, but also without complicating the PR on COVID-19.
That brings me to the question of the issue we get for do with lockdown. There has been so many calls. people don't make, not a nationwide lockdown, but if you look at the trend and the pattern where the virus they spread, if you look at the urban area, western area urban, look gets the highest cases them. Any thing then at the table, but locking down this particular area because now the virus look down the spread too much for Leon able for contain them.
When it comes to public emergency, government expected for take the measures were necessary for contain the public, for contain the threat to the public. So in this case, from the expert perspective, maybe I can say at this point, all options are on the table. I don't want to speak further to that, but all options are on the table. If it is necessary that there should be a lockdown, it will happen.
So you not prove it for say necessary, especially now where we don't get a confirmed death. And the number where you see, the latest one where I see here for western area urban now 43. And not still prove enough yet for say we as a nation we need for contain let spread because people in the move.
And indeed, government committed for addressing and for containing, and I say all options are on the table. A lockdown could happen, and when that time they come, the experts, when they make the determination, we will make them public.
All right, continue for the waiting at the studio, Solomon Jamiru. We'll come back to now. The program they continue. We just take this short commercial break and make some money.
They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look him block them with them beat for them, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen, me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind of magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3x Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country, when a 42.5 R grade cement, when no one day come na this country, and one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want you concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na online shop and building material store na the one whole country.
Alright, the program Good Morning Salone they continue. They look at one pan with headline story there now. Also, one human rights lawyer and activist, Augustine Sori Sembe Mara, don't say the person within as master and registrar at the High Court not qualify for all the office. He talked this inside one interview with Shady Democracy. Also, even they talk about how then they run the judiciary. Augustine Sori Sembe Mara talk more to Mange Mansari.
So in February this year, I write the Bar Association again because the Judicial Legal Service Commission, where the Chief Justice had me appoint somebody for become the Master and Registrar of the High Court of Sierra Leone. Then I later learned say that I may not get the qualifications for all our office day. Normally what me can do, I know they act on rumors. I go meet them, just like in the case of Mark, I go meet her. I go meet this person and ask him, about in qualification, and he confirmed to me say in England he study, etc., etc. So I may get for rights to the bar and inquire from the bar because the bar get representative na the Judicial Legal Service Commission. I say they advise me whether this person qualify and whether he go law school now. You don't practice.
Okay. So when we look at if somebody want hold that position as master and registrar of the High Court, what are the qualifications?
So the qualification basically say for be barrister and solicitor, for be qualified barrister and solicitor. And say you for be barrister and solicitor, if you don't go to law school, then call you to the bar and you don't complete your pupillage, now you become barrister and solicitor. So once you complete that process there, you can turn master and registrar. Alternatively, even if you don't go law school, if you don't pass the bar like Commonwealth country and you don't practice at least 5 years in that Commonwealth country day, you can apply to the council, General Legal Council in Sierra Leone, let them give you exemption. That exemption day can make you practice without go law school. So we get few cases of people that we apply for the exemption, like the chief prosecutor at the anti-corruption commission, for example, no go law school na Zimbabwe qualify, na they been practice law before he can salon, and then council may get exemption. Based on the exemption, they practice. So one, I confirm say this person no go law school so to buy and solicitor na salon. Information we don't come out say the person, this current occupant of the office of master and registrar, na solicitor na England, but don't get the exemption day we can make it qualify for practice or occupy any position where the qualification that he for be barrister and solicitor. Get an exemption day. So in the absence of that exemption day, be right to the bar and let the bar advise me as to how the representative of the bar, how then come about that decision day. Sadly, over 2 months now, nearly 2 months, bar station not respond to me. Now only the representative of the bar, when Ambassador Michael, we then at the commissioner write to me and say, sadly, she was not around when that decision day was taken, and so instead of write to the Chief Justice for then share with them the minutes of the meeting where eventually they may get.
So if then kind of did it happen at the High Court, what does this mean for the judiciary? What does it mean for respect of office?
And I think I would have to agree with you. It's basically respect for the rule of law. The rule of law now rules say we will all agree say if we say, for example, this person will occupy this office, forget this and this qualification, that person they forget that qualification before they are appointed. So now respect for the rule of law. And if the judiciary, when are in charge of upholding the rule of law, begin for the bend the rule of law, it becomes scary for we all. Because it means say if you like a policeman are in charge for protect life and property, begin to beat people and a treat, begin to confiscate property them, then you are not safe. Because this person, now for be the chief custodian, now for respect law, now for demand that laws and processes be respected. So if that person respects law, then it becomes worrying for we all. And so it's a worrying situation where the judiciary, time and time again, they flout established rules and procedures and clear provisions where parliaments put together where the business of the courts one for interpret their laws and they when they pass the parliament implement them. Part of implementation of for ensure say the right provisions, qualifications, etc. be met at all times.
When we look at where you put square peg in a round hole, somebody will not qualify for that office day. You go all that kind of office day. So you mean say with that day it will be effective because instead of the whole way it get for play it big. So if you say it will be effective in doing work.
And I think say part of so institutional decadence can start. We begin they appoint people who not qualify. Now then they erode all institutional values because time and time again, the person not get the competence. As master and registrar of the High Court, they sit as a judge. So that's why, for example, in times past, they ensure say the people who occupy at least don't qualify for become judges because it's a big position. If you understand the laws of this country, if you understand them procedures, and if the person want to occupy the office, encourage and let go law school. All you want the way opt for go law school, they're not, they encourage them for do so because then go point to that person and say, but go law school, you occupy the office day. We know they inspire and protect the institutions will begin to undermine the processes and rules that we establish them and uphold.
Alright, well that's now one lawyer Augustine Suri Sembe Marab in the talking that interview there with Mange Mansare as he gets concerned and where it be raised from the judiciary because he say the person they serve as master and registrar in High Court now not qualify for hold the office. The program Good Morning Salone they continue and we they come over to we studio guest them. They come over now to Abdul Karim Will. We come out on the Office of National Security. Don't they talk of the way how the ONS don't respond so far to the coronavirus. Now we look at more concerns than where we don't they come from the quarantine homes them in terms of accessing the quarantine homes. And you've been saying earlier on they get challenged with family members them where you want go to people them within a quarantine home here. How are not able to put this situation under control because information where we get now that the one confirmed case from the presidential guard where they say don't get the coronavirus. They say according to information where we get now a quarantine home a been visit. How not able to put this situation under control? Let people know say who that's in a quarantine for the day until it come out and go meet them out.
Yeah, we dey continue for do the engagement, even with the people and we in the quarantine homes, for let them understand, say, for stay safe and they away from the families during a period of quarantine. Now a service and they do both for themselves, the country, and their families. And therefore, over the period, because of the happenings, because of the increase in the number of cases, I think family members, as I said, don't know the gravity of the situation. So before now will be the get that kind of challenge day. But as they speak, they don't subside. People they don't even for understand what will be done. They tell them about all of this time.
So
you don't simmer down a little bit.
So in terms of people in a quarantine or more, don't suicide audio they don't go around. Outside can say certain security personnel can go and pick other people and also in the quarantine home and begin to excuse say this person in term done or this person they transfer under, but they pull them out of the quarantine home because of certain connection them.
Well, done are the allegations. We always don't come for investigate that kind of situation early, because if that happen, they wrong. Again, situations we don't exist. I want to agree with people living in government quarantine homes. Before now, they request for go into their home quarantine. And that 10 day where they encourage that one, so they speak now, that they don't be removed from the practice. All people with suspected cases will therefore be under government quarantine facilities. Then in a must now as we go forward.
Okay, continue for those in the studio. Name na Abdul Karim Will, the Assistant Director, Organized Crime and Spokesperson of Office of National Security. And only tell we about a different role where they play na border crossing point them and also na quarantine on them na the country. The program Good Morning Salone they continue, and also inside the program now we come over to the other studio guest winner Solomon Jamiu, spokesperson National COVID-19 Response Secretariat. It only talk about in role as a spokesperson in terms of information messaging and how it gets for work with other institutions. Them, Mr. Jamiu, let we look at the collaboration and effectiveness. You don't so much emphasize but how people forget information like when and all. But we look back at the issue of the COVID-19. Once you don't cause panic, now information, the manner at which people can see them on social media, the manner at which people can bring them out to the public. Though you don't see other dedicated ministry, then they will still get for do their work in terms of information. But how on get for you try for manage and make sure see on get a key specific ministry on would work with in terms of information, because sometimes the information it can become conflicting.
Thank you very much. So as I say, the business of government will continue. Ministries, departments, agencies, they do their work. And when it comes to social media, we know say social media now very important tool for message dissemination, but also subject to a lot of abuse. And so with continuous public education backed with regulations, and I think the Office of Attorney General is already working on some regulations together with the National Telecommunications Commission for see how they can able for help for address some of them like prank calls and other things will really not help the fight against COVID-19. So as I say, my specific task as spokesperson for COVID-19, now for work with my colleagues for make sure so we provide timely and much needed information. And of course we therefore use a lot of social media platforms for do so, because social media also get a very wide reach. So in terms of cooperation, I think so we will continue to enjoy the cooperation of everybody.
So
sorry.
Okay, looking at the dedicated other ministry and agency, they like other than so na the wire we people also get for the expect information them from, though you don't be the spokesperson for the National COVID-19 Response Secretariat.
Well, so the Ministry of Information and Communications, now the government ministry where they disseminate programs and activities of government. So yesterday, I don't know if now SLBC or AYV, where somebody will ask if the role of the Ministry of Information and Communications redundant. Now I say no, by the name itself, but the nomenclature itself don't tell you say Ministry for Information and Communications, now the ministry where they disseminate government programs and activities. And that does not stop them also from talking about COVID-19. That does not stop the Ministry of Finance from talking about COVID-19. It does not stop the Ministry of Health from talking about COVID-19. Anything that any ministry could do to complement, we are all in this together. But my own specific assignment, now for make sure say I dedicate myself and my team for me could provide timely and much needed information and make sure say we're all able to achieve the synergy together, because if the message is not coherent, it complicates the PR around COVID-19 fight.
So how you manage it too, you being the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs as well?
Well, I think it's something we're managing and managing very well, because I'm in touch. Continue to enjoy the trust and the confidence of Minister Nabila Tunis, and she also supports me a lot, and it's something we're handling.
Alright, so now let me come to the issue of the President being in self-isolation since the confirmed case of that guard being come up. What's now the current situation?
Well, the President is in very good health. So you see, this issue about self-isolation or self-quarantine, we can always say to people, you no need for be asked for do certain things. Once if you're able to look at situations and advise. So once His Excellency the President, a presidential guard be don't prove positive, he decide for going to self-isolation. And maybe this thing, I think say Sierra Leoneans able for commend them, because when you show that kind of exemplary leadership at the top, you're able for enforce discipline right down to the bottom. Because if you're not seeing doing the things you're supposed to do, how do you enforce the message to the least man down there? The president of Botswana, he traveled to Namibia, I think in March, President Mogwati Masisi. When he come out Namibia, he go back to Botswana, he decide for self-isolate. So people then they ask, say, hey, what did do this man? He say, well, I self-isolate because I traveled to Namibia, and Namibia had already started recording cases. German Chancellor Angela Merkel decided for self-isolate because a doctor proved positive. Justin Trudeau in Canada self-isolate because in work proved positive. So you therefore look at the context and the situation. President Bill self-isolate, and we think say that was the right move, and he continues to lead. And I believe say we thank Sierra Leoneans, we continue to hold them in their thoughts and in their prayers, but he continues to lead the fight as well.
The issue of in self-isolation again, so many concerns don't come out of him. Some people don't say he isolate, but you know isolate na the capital city, I don't move out and all. So the isolation na outside one.
Well, the president is in self-isolation and he continues to function as the president.
Alright, him being in self-isolation, as you don't say, my understanding that the ECOWAS leaders, them, the whole extraordinary summit today, we then go for do a video conference on. We go for see with president live because now towards the fight against the coronavirus, then they get this extraordinary meeting where then they do online. We go for see with president.
Well, Sierra Leone is a member of ECOWAS, and President Bio now part of the Authority of Heads of States and Government. He participates in the meetings of ECOWAS, and this meeting is no exception.
Okay.
So, yes.
Continue for the which way not the studio Solomon Jameo spokesperson.
He go participate because well, especially for some of the family we not go understand because of the COVID-19, heads of states and government not able for travel and meet. So then they do what we call virtual session. They do it electronically. They therefore link them all through electronic means, and then go participate in the meetings electronically.
Okay.
And this meeting will be chaired by the president of Niger, Mahamadou Issoufou, who is the current chair of ECOWAS. And statements also will be made by Mohamed Faki, who is the chairperson for AU. And other persons as well.
One other person really don't raise concern about the issue about the vice president. Of lately people know they see or and they also say himself they on self-isolation. You can confirm this?
Which one?
The vice president.
Well, I not get that information.
For say they under self-isolation.
Yeah, I not get that information.
So they work?
He functions. He continues to function as vice president.
But they go in office?
Nothing will stop the president, nothing will stop the vice president from functioning.
Okay, continue for the retweet in name Solomon Jameo and in the spokesperson for National COVID-19 Response Secretariat. The program is still listening to Good Morning Salone. Send your message or comment to the number 077 981 981. Inside the program now, I will start for look at message them we una don't send. And this first one we are they read they say, is it true that certain people in quarantine homes are being starved? Another message inside the program, they say the EOC must be proactive and very accurate when it comes to information dissemination. This helps to decrease the fake news. More message inside the program. This other one, they say the issue about fake news and messaging is so panicking. If we don't be careful, some people will die, if not by fake news, even when they have not yet got the coronavirus. More message inside the program. They say, Mr. Spokesperson, we want to get information from structure and proper channels.
Alright, we take a look at more messages in the program. And I'll continue for send them, but quickly, we won't forget a short interview online as we've been play earlier. A concern we one lawyer get, legal practitioner we na Augustine Sembe Mara, also raise concern about the master and registrar in qualification. Well, we try for connect the bar association for let we get a response from them as a letter we Augustine been write to them for ask about this qualification.
Well, as we try for get the bar association, we continue to look at more message we una don't send inside the program.
Alright, so we'll go online now as we get Tijan Israel Jah, when are the public relations officer for the Salone Bar Association. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, people of Australia, and thanks for having me.
Alright, firstly, just confirm to you if not been received a letter from Augustine Sembe Mara. Also, I get concerned them where it is, where you want some clarification on.
Yes, we received a letter from Augustine Sembe Mara concerning the qualification of the current holder of the position of Master and Registrar.
Waiting on a response to the concern the way it is about the qualification of this particular person in question in position where according to them say not qualify but it occupy the position.
Now, first and foremost, as Bar Association, unlike Augustine, I one day on your own, it can react as and when it deemed necessary. We in our Bar Association, we answerable to with membership. So on Judicial and Legal Service Commission, for instance, we get a representative of the bar. On the General Legal Council, we also get a representative of the bar. So when issues like this crop up, we think it happen, we direct then queries then to we representative. Now, in the Augustine talk say, we representative on the bar now, Mrs. Basita Michael. So when Augustine write this letter, we forward. Well, he copied Mrs. Basita Michael. Mrs. Basita Michael reply. He sent a letter to the Chief Justice. They ask on which grounds and within the position how they recruit the current Master and Registrar. Unfortunately, Mrs. Basita Michael gets back to the bar, say he not be there, but he don't request for minutes of the meeting on how the current Master and Registrar was recruited. So we will wait on a reply from the Office of the Chief Justice or the Secretary to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. Secondly, we also get a representative on the GLC. As of the information we read, GLC don't sit down on that matter as to whether the current holder of the Office of Master and Registrar qualified. So far so good. We are waiting on the decision of the General Legal Council concerning the Master and Registrar. So until we get that decision, we not just Bar Association not just jump out of the way and go give decision of GLC where they not can meet with officially they not right time to wait. As you can agree with me also, following due process and procedure is frustratingly slow in this country, particularly Sierra Leone. So we have to take time and respond to queries and anything with and directory. So we not just grab an answer, we will not get the facts readily available at we hand. So basically, so far now that's not happen. And
right,
we believe
say
for now
get the facts readily now on our hand, but because it don't become a public interest since Augustine been raised this concern, you go on for clear the air now as to the qualifications of this individual at this position.
I don't tell you say GLC don't meet. So we are with the report on whether or not the current holder of the position of Master Registrar is qualified. We get the facts are there as Augustine explained. So we dey wait on the report. We cannot just go ahead and say this is the position. What if what comes out from the meeting of the GLC or from the Judicial Legal Service Secretariat, coherent or not consistent with waiting our Bible position. So we representative on General Legal Counsel, therefore report back to we and we'll take those decisions as per the report.
All right, many thanks to you, Tijan Isgelja, Public Relations Officer of the Bar Association, for the information they will give regarding letter with Augustine Sori Sembe Marabi writes. It is concern, but the qualification of the person where they hold the office of the master and registrar will go follow up that issue and bring on an update on them.
The program Good Morning Salone, they continue. We'll take a quick message and come to the studio guest them for respond. This other message they say, why can't we get just one channel of giving out information about COVID-19? Having so many channels is so panicking and discouraging.
Alright, because of time, the final one we're going to look at now, the person they ask say, Mr. Jamiru, can you please elaborate on the issue of mask wearing? Because some people are saying they can't be forced to wear a mask.
This last one, they say, let government unmask the public information process. Well, from their message, and they will come over to our studio guest, and we'll start with you, Solomon Jameu, spokesperson, National COVID-19 Response Secretariat, for the respond.
Thank you very much. So, on the issue of mask, government don't they encourage we all for the use cloth face mask the same way they use them at the studio. Because when we do them kind of here, we not only they protect ourselves, but we also they help for protect the one they are around with. The studies don't show say this kind of disease will affect. If you not cover yourself, you they play with your eyes, you they play with your nose, you they play with your mouth. If the virus slip go inside your respiratory tract, it cause very serious respiratory dysfunction. In fact, some studies don't begin to talk about gastrointestinal complications as well. I hope so we experts then go able for help with for break the one that they done. But what they say at this point in the family then that okay, they advise for the wear face mask, especially when they go into in public places. The study don't show say a lot of people in there we can carry the virus, but they know they show the symptoms. So if you look for somebody where they develop fever, or somebody with a cough, or somebody with a sneeze, some man go get the COVID-19, he go get the coronavirus, they show any of their symptoms. And because you know get for see them symptoms, then therefore know if somebody carry them, wear your face mask. Because if somebody carry them, he sneeze, he cough near you, you not go contact them. Right. But if you just expose yourself so you can contact them, and as we talk, no vaccine, no day for cure of COVID-19. On the issue of message discipline, as I say, we will continue to work together. The Ministry of Information and Communications they do a fantastic job. We'll also get the Strategic Communications Advice and a State House, Dr. Mwana doing a fantastic job. We'll all will continue for work together to make sure we get the message discipline and we provide timely and much needed information. On starving in quarantine homes, etc., we believe the government care for people and the necessary. Nothing that we'll go look into. I not get specific information on this, but we'll go investigate them. And if there is any need for intervene, government will intervene appropriately.
So as to wrap up the program now, anything don't change from the figures them where we get the latest statistics about the confirmed cases them discharged and all. Anything don't change as to this morning?
As at yesterday, 61, and then the death we will talk about. If anything changed, as I left here, so I go back to the center. We'll go update the public accordingly.
All right, thank you for joining the program. Over to you. I'm Abdul Karim Will from ONS. With you, the left with people message as to the expectation, but then say your contribution for let we all join and fight the COVID-19.
Yeah, so the Honorable Minister mentioned about fake news. We want for generally advise the public for remain positive. That we don't always wish for a bad news. Now, in that kind of positions here, the people who are bad news vendors, they will take advantage of we and disseminate them bad information, then we will cause problems for we. And I also want to narrow in on the issue of the use of face masks. Somebody in the text message you say they not go force person for use face masks. Let people know say we did in an emergency situation, and some of them laws are they make now for the good of the country. And so whilst we not go beat forcing, we don't go this and that kind of thing, but we encourage people to do that one day. And we the security forces they under obligation for implement and enforce that kind of thing there. So we appeal to the general public and for use a face mask because it's compulsory for you do so na all public spaces.
Public spaces that as in the commander they host to go out.
We commander host for go and streets, you get for use your face masks. And perhaps lastly I'm going for also encourage the people for make use effective and responsible use of the 117 line. And we say they get difficulty for go through, they also make use of the 119 line with the toll-free line with the Office of National Security Situation Room for complement the efforts of the EOC.
All right. Many thanks. When I had this edition of the program, Good Morning Salone Golefuna. Plenty thank you to we studio guest them, Solomon Jarmiru, when I the spokesperson for the national COVID-19 response. They there give updates on their work. And also Abdul Karim Will, when I assistant director organized crimes and spokesperson from the Office of National Security. And I thank you when the program this morning. Plenty thank you to the production team, Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Koroma produced the program. DJ Lava will give you technical support, Moses Kavura and in team safe make on us live na Facebook. So till we meet again, maybe I'll say get yourself a wonderful day, but not forget for say the precautions them with the health experts and they say we for do follow we go able for fight the COVID-19.
And it's up to you, Carolyn, to say stay safe and bye bye.
Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, that's Nami News and Current Affairs program Good Morning Salone. We come to you every weekday from Monday to Friday from 7:30 to 9 a.m. Well, 10 a.m. from now, we're going to newsroom and bring you Salone and some international news. One for